I know I'm not Brandon. I'm Tessa or Terry. Call me either thing. And just gotta wait for Mr. Troy. There he is.
Yo, how come? Hold on a sec. I gotta do my camera.
Always with you.
There we are. All right.
Why?
Tessa, you look great.
Yeah,
Hey,
I got all pretty for you for
we're
once.
both a little dressed up.
Oh yeah, you are dressed up too.
See, the problem is like we usually we see each other before we take our showers and brush our teeth and all that stuff. We're like busy doing our planning. It's not until later in the day that we shave and get showered and everything.
Yes, it's very true. I did not shave before I saw you today.
That's okay. That's okay. But that's our thing.
That's our thing. That is.
That's what we do. So is this your first live?
I think so. We did that practice one once before, but
That's
for the
true.
most part, this is, yeah.
Yeah.
And I did a test today, and I think Cami jumped on and said hi for a second, but I
Oh,
think there
that's
was like
right.
one
There's
person on.
Blanca. Hi, Blanca. And Shannon. Brandon, what are you doing there? Oh, Brandon wasn't supposed to be even on this live. She's at a choir concert.
Is she there?
Yeah,
She's here?
she said she whispered into the thing. She's like, I got a choir a thing that I'm doing, and I don't want anybody to see me being on your live.
She said she would not get on the live because she would be frowned upon by the other parents. So maybe
Right
she's
now,
not quite in there yet.
right now, people are staring daggers at her. Look at that
I don't
girl
know.
sitting there on TikTok while her son's up there singing his heart out. So
Hey
so
everyone.
so today's the day. The thing is that the interesting thing is like all of this planning has been going on since when did we start working on this back in like
Uh,
December?
yeah, it's been a good 6 months.
Yeah.
If-
So
yeah.
and there is so much that goes into planning these things. So the fact that we're here right now at our first challenge is that's a big thing. Like it's a big thing for us. And what was really cool is that like we didn't know how what the response was going to be for for the next Dark Star. I mean, we thought it was a really cool idea, but we didn't know. I mean, are people going to? You were getting all the little things. We got a corgi that's
Really?
farting hearts. Yeah, you got like I don't know what they are,
I
like hot dog buns or something, like really cute things on you.
don't
But
I don't know what those things mean. You know I'm not a good social media person. I don't even know what like do they have different meanings or are they just different gifts?
they're
I don't even
gifts.
know.
I think they're like little gifts. You can I think it's kind of like Chuck E. Cheese where you like get a certain number of tickets and then you can cash them in for like a bubble bubble thing or like squishies or a pencil eraser or something like that.
Mm,
So
that makes me happy. All right, I'll take it.
yeah, but yeah, you got it going on. Well, you're doing good so far, Tessa. You really you're rocking it. I'm not drinking tonight. I have water.
I am drinking tonight.
Well,
I It's a concoction. That's all I'm
I
saying.
made myself a promise. So Tessa's nickname, and this is kind of funny. Uh, I call Tessa Mistress Tessa, and I had like this whole connotation in my own head as I would say it. I would say, yes, Mistress Tessa, whenever she would like give me marching orders. Tessa is the one who tells us what to do, when to do it. And if we're late, then we have to answer to Tessa. So I call her Mistress Tessa. So I'm like, I was talking to, I was up, Sheila and I are upstairs, getting breakfast. And I'm like, yeah, Mistress Tessa, crack the whip. And she's like, interesting that you refer to her that way. And it was only then that it dawned on me that like I'm thinking like headmistress, like Hogwarts headmistress. She's the one who like keeps order around everything. Meanwhile, I'm actually making it sound like you're like sitting there in stiletto leather heels, cracking a whip, which is not what I was imagining. So,
Could go
but
either way.
Yeah, so Tessa does she does the Lord's work in keeping all of us cats herded, and this contest, it's like it's one thing to say, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we did like an American Idol for narrators, but it's a whole other thing when you're like, okay, so what are the rules, and how do we qualify them, and what's the threshold for who's a new um, yes, cats can be herded. Well, if they can be herded, then Tessa can do it, but the
Not easily.
jury's still out. But anyway, like there's a lot that goes into it, and so and we had to make sure that it was fair, um, that whatever we did was going to be open to people who really interested in being a narrator, and that everybody had an equal shot at getting there. And there, I mean, there is a lot to, you have to think about a whole bunch of things, because um, some people have larger followings, and some people are more familiar with TikTok and stuff like that. So evening the playing field it was a challenge, but I think we've done a pretty good job. I feel like we've thought about all of the you know all of the ins and outs, and like everything that we could think of. I think that we addressed, right.
We try and we argue sometimes, maybe not argue, but we have differing opinions, and we usually come to a conclusion that seems to be the best for everybody. We may not cover all the bases, and there's probably will be questions that we didn't think about, but we're trying. And you know, like I told you this, I think today or yesterday, like it brings me such joy seeing how much joy this is bringing the contestants and people who are watching this. Like it's really fun to see how excited people are about this, and you know,
And not
love
only, and the thing is, like and this was by design. We wanted to make sure that even if you didn't, like, if you didn't make it in the the first round, and subsequently, if you don't make the next rounds, we wanted to make it so that anybody who wants to be a narrator, even if you didn't enter the contest, if you follow along with the contest, you're going to learn what it takes to be a professional narrator. um, and all of the things that our contestants are going through, you're going to go through as well. If you want to get into narrating, that's you're gonna see them come up against these issues as well. But I think, like, so the first thing I would like to do is thank everybody, in the initial round, for jumping in, at like taking the leap, because there were a lot of people. Yeah, you could tell, like it was not a small thing to throw your hat in the ring and say, I'm gonna try, and I think that was really cool. I mean, it really is like it's a nice feeling to see everybody who's so into it. And after we announced the first 26, we sent out an email to everybody saying, all right, if you're getting this email, that means that you didn't make that first round, but I want to keep the dialogue open, because obviously, if there's anything I can do to help you get your career started, I want to help. And lots of people came out, and I mean, there were people who said, I have to admit, I was disappointed. I wish I would have made it. But that said, is there anything that you can tell me about my entry that I can work on? I don't think, like, nobody said you guys suck. Um, they were all very gracious and very nice. And like the people, the all of the people who were contestants, for the most part, you saw, like, all the other contestants cheering them on, in their posts. So
yeah,
I thought that was pretty cool. So we
yeah.
are here at our first challenge, and I think that's pretty cool. So for the first challenge, these 26 contestants are, you're on your own. We're looking for, just give us what you got, what makes you special, as we present you with your first challenge, which is going to be uh, acting. Right? That's what we're calling the first challenge, acting. And and so what we've done is we've taken scripts that are made for uh, uh, dramatic narration and for comedy or comedic timing or something like that. And we have so Brandon put together all the folders, right?
Yes, I think we were ready to roll with that. Yes.
Okay, good. So yeah, so we have folders for you. And did we send them the links to the folders yet, or do we do that after this live?
After the
It's
live.
It'll be after the live. Okay, so
Yep.
everybody finds out at the same time, and that's pretty cool. So we're sharing folders with you. In these folders are your scripts, and you're going to read these scripts, but you're not gonna do it on video. There's gonna be a graphic that goes in front of it, right?
Are you asking me? So yeah, so what we're asking is that they use their audio narration tools, whatever they have, their microphone, to record their audio. And then when they upload to TikTok, we want them to only have a image or a generic, video or just a generic image with sound waves or the words at the bottom, something that isn't allowing the voters, right? Because this is public voting this time, and not
Mhm.
allowing the voters to be swayed by personality and flashy videos. It's all about the voice.
Yeah. So we don't want to distract from the voice as we're listening to these things, and so we're going to give you, what is it, a week to get your videos posted.
The 7th. No, yeah, 7th at midnight, essentially 11:59 p.m. on the 7th.
Yeah. So you have 7 days, and it's a little bit tricky because you don't want to rush the thing. You want to get it just uh, to the point where you're satisfied with it, but you also don't want to wait until the very last minute because you want people to see your your scripts. No, so Andy, we've got the scripts for you, and oh yeah, so she's asking, are we doing both scripts or do you choose one?
Do you want me to answer?
So here's the thing, Terry. So Terry gave me like all sorts of information, but like at a certain point in time when when she's going through all the rules and how we're discussing how it goes down, it starts to sound like watermelon, watermelon, watermelon. And so I try to follow along, but
Thanks.
just to make sure that I didn't, well, I mean, you know me, I remember different things from our conversations. And so I just want to make sure that I've got it. Well, I want to make sure that it's delivered correctly. So I count on you to give us the straight dope.
You know the answer to this one.
Yeah, so we're gonna have you do both scripts, right? The comedy and the drama. And there's one for the male point of view and one for the female point of view. And we're going to ask you for both of those. Now you are going to post it to TikTok, but you're also going to upload it back up to the Dropbox, right? Because we're going to take those videos that you give us, and we're going to make them all equal and post them up on our website where the world can go to listen and to vote on your top three contestants. You can do this every day, but you can only do it once a day. You can vote for three of your favorite contestants once a day, but you can do it multiple days. And I think that's why did we do it that way? We did it that way because you might have numerous favorites, and so you want everybody to get, you want to show support for your favorites. And so if there's the top three, but maybe you want to support another top three the next day, right?
Yep. Or the same three every day if they're really your favorites. It's up
Yeah.
to you.
Or the same three every day. So
Or just one every day if you really only like one person. You don't have to vote for three. You could vote for up to three a day, but
right,
that's it. Yes.
right.
For about 7 days, I think.
Yeah. When does when the voting starts on the 8th, is that right?
The 9th, we're doing the 9th
Okay.
through the 14th. So midnight on the 14th. So what is that? 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, like six days, I think.
Hey,
I think.
did you guys like the I like those videos when we were doing the when we were like looking through all of the contestants and we were making our comments. I thought that was pretty cool to see those that Brandon cut them into snippets so that we could like post some of our impressions on the people. So
I thought it was fun. And I thought,
how's
like
it
I think you
supposed to be
talked
like
about this last time with Brandon. Like it was a hard thing to do, but like
yeah,
we work well as a team and we're all very thoughtful and we talked about every single person and it was a good time.
I feel like you were the Simon Cowell of the group.
Yeah, you keep saying that.
You were our voice of reason. Well, I was. I mean, I think I don't know.
Is that an insult or a compliment?
Oh no, it's definitely a compliment because the thing is, like, as I was listening to these, well, it was pretty cool. I think that I think we all had, we all had ones that we like either support, like gave a yes or a maybe, but then as we discussed them, then we sometimes we changed our votes. Like, if I was a maybe or a no, after hearing your observation on the person, then you could sway me. But
I was good at swaying you, I think.
yeah, you're pretty good. You're pretty good. I felt like I was, I don't know. I mean, I felt like everybody was, oh yeah, that sounds great. Oh, that sounds great too. That sounds great as well. So, I mean, it was good that we had a chance to discuss them and get it from a different point of view. And it's cool because like I'm a narrator, you are an avid listener, and Brandon is a bit of both. Like she was raised in she's listened to audiobooks for a long time, which is what brought her into narrating audiobooks. So I think we all had good, valid perspectives as we were walking into walking into those things. But I thought it was pretty cool. Like I enjoyed seeing seeing those videos as we were
Yeah, I
going
think
along.
someone said we should do like a YouTube series or something, or some sort of Netflix series or something like that, which would be fun.
That would be really cool. I think we'd have to have a bigger budget, but
Yeah, probably.
and maybe not be in the middle of planning a convention at the same time.
Yeah,
But
that too.
I think that would be really cool. So yeah, what do we have to what else? What did we not? So if voting doesn't start, wait, you guys are moving too fast. If voting doesn't start,
I can't read these things. I don't have my
on the
glasses
9th,
on.
do we post on the 9th so people will be able to vote on it? No, so you have the entire week between now, as soon as this live is over, and the 8th or the 7th at midnight. You have between now and then to do it. And oh yeah, I think that would, yeah. So maybe we start with a YouTube series and then we like start pitching to Netflix and Hulu and Amazon. That'd be cool. So anyway, you have until the 7th to make your video, but you also want to, I mean, this is, you also want to get your video out to as many people as you can so that you can get support. As soon as you are comfortable with your video, you should go ahead and post it, right? And then, yeah, we're also going to give you the tags to put on there so that we can repost your videos as they come in. So there will be darkstarcon.com and things like that. So
Mention the author and narrator, or the author and book title. Is that what you're going to do?
We're like right there.
I
Yeah.
know we
So
are, aren't we? Okay, go for it.
yeah. So we have some scripts from some authors that I think were fantastic in presenting the challenge that we had. Right. Um, so Riley Edwards, she is a really good writer, and she does a great job with those emotional scenes. So we'll have a scene from a Riley Edwards book. I think it's called Taking Liberty, right? And then we've got a scene from J.T. Geisinger and Midnight Valentine, because she writes some pretty amazing comedy. We also, speaking of comedy, Caroline Peckham and Suzanne Valenti. The what's the it's not the Ruthless Boys. It's uh, what's the name of the book? It's your favorite scene.
Oh, so we have one from the Ruthless Boys. So there's actually two scenes from
Oh, that's
the
right. Yeah, we've
Twisted
got
Sisters,
yeah.
right? So you do have the Ruthless Boys from Warrior Faye, and then we also have from Harlequin Crew, Gallows Bridge book, the dramatic scene from that book.
Exactly. And what what else? Yeah. So you know what? So that leads me to the next thing. Um, if you're familiar with these characters, one of the things that I thought about was, oh wait, so we've got all these, like, so there's a scene from Ruthless Boys where Leon is stuck in a locker, and and as we were putting these things together, I thought what I need to remember to what I need to remember as we post these challenges is that it's most important, Kathy, in the gym. You're doing good things. I'm going to live vicariously through you. But I think it's important that you come up with your own interpretations of these characters and don't let yourself get swayed by if you've heard the book. You hear that, like, we do our own versions of the characters. But a big part of being a narrator is like creating your own voice for the character. So whatever it is, I mean, you have to kind of, forget how it sounded to you if you've already heard the book, and hey, don't say anything. Really subtly look behind you. JT Geisinger is right behind you. Hi, JT.
Nobody move. Nobody move.
Nobody move. But I think it's so cool when she pops in. It's like it gives me a little thrill. But so anyway, whatever the character is, you need to make it your own character, and give it your own flair. What we're looking for is, a, how do you become the character and deliver the scene in an authentic way. But B, it's like, yeah, how do you bring your own self into this scene? I think that's a really important thing,
Absolutely.
right? So, all right. So what else did I miss? I think that I think I've exhausted my knowledge of what we're doing here.
I think you got almost everything. I'm looking at my notes. You did mention briefly, and maybe I missed it, but you did mention briefly that they're going to also upload into a Dropbox folder, guys. So you
Mhm.
can do your upload onto TikTok, and then we're also asking you to put into a Dropbox folder. Why? Because we're kind of lazy. And in order for us to get your video onto our website, we have to
Yeah.
download it off of TikTok, find each one of them, download them, and get them onto our website. If you put them into our folder for us, we have them all there. We can easily upload them onto our website. So you're just
Well,
helping us out there.
yeah, but in addition to that, the thing is that if we download it off of TikTok, it
Gotcha.
when it uploads to TikTok, it gets compressed to TikTok's algorithm.
Wow.
And so if we download it and then re-upload it, it's going to get compressed again. So if you give us that video, then it's much better quality. So for when we post it up, so
Perfect. And then the other thing I was going to say is the other rule that's in here is that once you upload your submission, that's it. That's your final submission. So you can't like look at it, then start to compare it against somebody else and be like, I'm going to redo mine. So it's a one and done. So be happy with yours when you upload it.
yeah. And you know what? So that's another. So speaking of JT, I
Go
have
to
I have not. So more often with JT on her stories, I have gone back and completely redone my characters. Um, just because, like, you know, what do they call it? Imposter syndrome. And like, so I'll get through a whole book, and then as I'm listening, as I'm thinking back on it, I think, you know what, that character is not right. So I go back and I redo it. Um, so it's important that you go through that whole process before you upload, so that you don't, I don't want you to go back and listen to it and then compare it to somebody else's and then get bummed out because, often, your instincts are, uh, usually on when you're in the middle of the book. So I think that's important. I was going to say something else.
I'm just looking at some comments. So it says Cammy's asking raw files, lightly mastered, totally mastered
Oh yeah, yeah.
files.
You can just give us, yeah, you don't have to master the files. You can just make it, make sure that you have a, decent signal. We'll make sure that it all sounds equal and good. So that should be fine. Um, yeah, I had something really important that I was going to mention.
Yeah, you know what it is? I don't know if
Hmm,
it's what it is, but I'm going to tell you something you can talk about.
okay.
Yeah. When we are doing our next live to announce the winners of this one and what else we're talking about that time.
Oh yeah, well, okay, no, but that reminded me of what it was. So when we're going to announce when we're going to announce the winners, but the next challenge is going to be when we announce the people who make it to the next stage, we're also going to announce our mentors. So that's pretty cool. I think that
Yeah, that'll be fun.
that's going to be like so my biggest thing is like, at this point in time, it's us, and we have our own like perspectives and experience. Yes, Ellie. So the was that Ellie? Everybody's moving so fast with the
I
yeah,
know.
Ellie Fox.
Or-
We are going to have mentors. For so after the first challenge, then the challenges are going to get tougher, and then that's where the mentors step in, and we'll have like specific challenges. And with these specific challenges, we're going to have mentors to help you address those challenges. They'll give you a little coaching. They'll give you some input. They'll tell you what you need to know to prepare you for that challenge. And then, you'll do the challenge. And once you do your challenges, we'll have a follow up with the mentors, and the mentors are going to they're basically just going to share like their impressions of the different entries for their round of contestants. So I think that's going to be, I don't know, like, when I was first getting into narrating, like I didn't have that. I had to like I I had to narrate uphill and both ways. I had to narrate uphill in the snow in my sister's hand-me-down dress, dragging my little brother on a broken sled. That was how rough it was when I came up. And so this kind of thing is like, I'm really excited for this, because I would have killed to have like a, a, a leader in the industry to say, yeah, Troy, it's a little bit creepy when you try to do a girl's voice or what, whatever it is. I did get that like one time. Well, it wasn't that, it was a sex scene.
Oh,
Um,
geez.
when I had first started doing audiobooks and I did a sex scene and, I got like and you like you and I don't know maybe it's just me but I suspect that all narrators do this when they're doing their audiobooks. You can't wait to see the audiobook go live on Audible, and you're like scanning for reviews just to hear. And of course, you want to hear them. You want to hear them go, "Oh my God, the narrator had such a wonderful voice," and so forth and so on. But every now and then you get a negative one, and this one that like totally stuck with me was. This reviewer, and this was under my pseudonym. So I had a pseudonym for one book I did a pseudonym. Um, but she said during the sex scene he sounded so monotone, ew, or something like that. And I was like, what? Because I remembered, I mean, sex scenes are not easy, and I would so in my head as I'm doing the sex scene, I'm like, I'm super intense and I'm like the thing. And that was my impression of how I sounded. I thought, yeah, I was like super intense. But when it came out, it's like I was imagining myself in a raincoat in a raincoat in a like a dark theater. So that was that was what I got. When I came up as a narrator, that was what I had as feedback. So for these further challenges, once you get past the first one, and you go on to the challenges, you're going to have some very familiar names giving you guidance through your challenge. So I think that's pretty cool.
Very
That's
familiar names telling you that you sound very monotone during sex.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully, well, but it's at least it comes like as you're getting ready to start your career, and not when you're actually pretending like you are a narrator, like I was.
Oh my
So
God.
that
You
was
kill me.
my experience. But yeah, but I made it, and so now I get to I'm laying the eggs, and I'm helping my little baby turtles make it to the ocean.
Oh,
Isn't that
I
cool?
like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
baby turtles.
it's my analogy. I'm birthing
Turtles
thousands of
are.
eggs, but
Aw.
but I don't go back into the ocean. I'm sitting there. I'm calling uh, my fellow turtles in to shepherd these baby sea turtles into the sea. So
And this is why I love my job. This is it right
this is
here.
kind of like what and this is why you're also pulling your hair out, because you're like, I've got a to-do list for you, Troy, a mile high, and
Hmm.
and
Yep.
you're sharing your stories about whatever. But
There's always time for stories. Well, maybe not always, but often time for stories.
yeah, so that's my yeah. Terry is truly a warrior. So, oh, look at that. Andrea puts her little turtles there. So yeah, so the dessert whiskey I got to tell you. So Krista, uh, well, I'm like sitting here after Readers Take Denver. It occurred to me that like I've got so much stuff from from that from the convention. These are all uh, like friendship bracelets that I got at the signing. All of these, and one of these is for Sheila. She like made one for me and one for Sheila, and then like so I've got all these friendship bracelets. I got the story behind this. If you know J.T. Geisinger, uh, is the is Aiden had his pet name for uh, it's not
I
Kira.
know
It's oh my God. So yeah,
it is.
um why am I'm blanking on her name anyway. So he called her Bunny, and so she made me a real bunny. Well, not a real a play bunny, but she made this for me. But I have to keep it in my office because if my dog gets a hold of this, it's toast. So I have to keep it up high. And then I got a shot glass, and Candy bought me a little miniature replica of a Johnny Walker Blue whiskey bottle. I wish I would have brought it down because I didn't think I was going to be doing this. But as I'm looking at my stuff, and then Krista came on and she said, "Hey, where's your dessert whiskey?" Krista brought me a whole bottle of whiskey that was made in Iowa, and it's like a really sweet dessert whiskey. And so that was that was like so cool. So when Krista says, where's that dessert whiskey, that's what she's saying. But I promised myself I would be on the ball and I wouldn't drink during this live, so that I could be, although I guess after all the stories, you might think that I've been drinking, but I have not. I'm totally sober. But the long the point to that long story is that we're doing this because Tessa and Brandon and I are, we're all doing this, and there are a lot of there are a few other people that are helping as well. Kimbra is she's doing the Lord's work as well, but we're all doing it because of this. So like the community of audiobook listeners and narrators and authors is magic. There's something really cool about this, and it feels like I know that there are a lot of us narrators out there. There are a lot of authors, and there are a lot of listeners. It is like $1 billion industry, but it feels like this really sweet little community. And so I think it's, for us, it really is a labor of love. It's so much fun. So that's why we're doing it. And so yeah, when you see these entries, which are going to start very shortly, because we're going to share the link to the files, be sure and support these narrators. When you see them, give them encouragement, because it's not easy to put yourself out there, and share them with your friends, and show lots of support, because these narrators are the ones who are going to be the household names in a few years. And so you're going to be able to say, I remember they were on the next Dark Star, and it's going to be really cool. So I think that's all I have to say about that. I guess I've talked a lot, but
it's only 40 minutes, not even 38 minutes. It's pretty good for you, actually.
For me, that's pretty good. Yeah, I like that. Oh yeah, Jesse, don't listen to anybody else's before you do yours. Just do yours, and then like afterwards you can listen to everybody else's. But do yours first, just because it's it's important that you give it your authentic, your own authentic taste. So hi, MJ.
And I was just going to say, like, if people have questions, Brandon's our point of contact on this one. So we're going to give you her direct email in the email I send you soon. So reach out to Brandon for tech issues on like how to do your video like overlays, or just questions about the challenge overall. She is there for you, and she will help you through it.
She is so good at that stuff. I love that. So Brandon, really, she helps us out when we're like, how do I do this TikTok thing? And then she's like, okay, I'm going to make a video. So she makes videos and like points to like, push this button here and then push that button, and then, write this. And so Brandon she's really helpful. She like when you get your scripts, in the script, she just put all of the are they at signs, at things, tagging things?
And hashtags, yeah.
So all you have to do is copy and paste them when you when you do those when you do the tagging. It is so much a struggle being older. But
It, she made me a video today to do this video. Like she
mhm,
had to show me how to do a TikTok live
yeah.
because I've never done one before, and like how to start it and how to invite you, and I did it. Yay me, but
Yeah,
like
you did. Yeah, you
painfully
did
a
you did.
video.
Well, if anybody can do anything, like, Tessa is very, like, very good. Like whenever we come up with stuff that we have to do, it's like you're really good at like diving in and figuring it out and all that stuff. Me,
I tried.
I'm like that scene from Pulp Fiction, that meme of John Travolta going. So that's me. So thank God for you guys. So I think that's it. I think that's
So,
everything. We've got everything that we need to uh, to get this first challenge going. Except for
um,
except for
not that I don't know why I would say this now because if you're not here to watch this, it doesn't make any sense. But we're gonna put this up on YouTube tomorrow. So
oh
um,
yes,
if you missed it, but you didn't because you're here,
yeah.
you can watch it on YouTube, or you can watch it again if you really liked it and you want to listen to Troy talk some more. So
Oh, because that's amazing. That's amazing. That's like, yeah. If you ever wondered what it's like to be married to me, just watch this over and over and over again until yeah, until one of us dies. Just keep watching it. But yeah, but
oh, poor
maybe
Sheila.
yeah, poor Sheila. She's like she really is. She's got the patience of Job. But uh, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, like so, yeah. You might have friends who say, "I was at choir practice. I didn't get to see it. So can you, what did they say?" And then you could just say, "Well, go to YouTube."
There you
So,
go.
all right,
Exactly.
all right. I think you're done with me now.
Hallelujah. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, can we talk about one more thing? Um, so there's a couple of things going on. So tomorrow we're doing another live, and
Yeah.
so this is gonna be really cool. I don't think we're not gonna give details. We haven't given details, right? We have given details on who we're going to be talking to, right? And
Yeah.
that
So I think the post has gone out saying who the people are.
yeah. So we've got the Blush podcast, and we have our Nerdiest Things podcast as well, and we're going to be on live with them. So yes, Troy laid the eggs. Now the turtles grow. Um, so we're going to be on live with Blush and our nerdiest thing, and that's going to be tomorrow at the same time, 7 Central. And so we'll have another announcement, and that'll be about Dark Star Convention. Real quick, one and last thing, and I promise. Um, what what the contestants have to win, right? We didn't announce any of that. So here's the reason you guys are competing. We're going to pick two winners at the end of the contest. We're going to have a finale with JT Geisinger, and at the finale, that is where we are going to pick the two winners. We're going to have two winners who are going to perform in the live novella written by JT Geisinger at Darkstar 24, which is August 29th through September 1st at the Sheraton New Orleans Hotel. So not only do they perform in that live novella, they also get a contract to perform in a novel to be named by J.T. Geisinger. Plus, we're going to help get you on your way with a professional mic setup, with a microphone and an interface that will be that we're going to pick specifically for your voice. Different microphones work for different types of for different types of voices. Some microphones emphasize so I've got like a smoother voice, and so if I have like a real warm, silky microphone, I get lost in the shuffle and nobody can hear me over what I'm talking over. And then, so women, a lot of women have like higher voices. And so the wrong microphone can make your voice sound shrill. So that's, so just by the way, if you ever want to be a narrator, Tessa, I think a good microphone for you would be a Neumann a Neumann U87, or like maybe they call them warm microphones. It's a company made in Texas, and this microphone would also be a 47. So, just if you,
Why? What about my voice? Like, what are you basing that off of? Is my voice low, high? What is it?
you have a nice voice. It's a low voice, and it's got you have like a really nice air to your voice that I wouldn't want to lose. So you need a nice smooth microphone, but something with a little bit of mid range as well to kind of emphasize you. And your voice is not so, your voice is pretty well modulated, so you don't have to worry about being too shrill. So you don't want a particularly bright microphone, but you don't want something that's too dark, just because that nice smoky quality to your voice should be emphasized.
You know what you're talking about. Who
So
knew?
that's what, yeah, and that's what we're going to do with the people who win this contest. We're going to listen to their voice and say, okay, here's the right microphone for you. So
Very cool.
you'll be set to rock and roll.
I never knew that. That was actually very informative and
Jesse,
educational for me.
Jesse nailed it. Your voice is in a similar vein to Tara Langelis.
Carla.
That's
I'll take that as a compliment.
that is definitely a compliment. So, all right, I think that's it. And we still
Come on,
kept
we
it
can come up
under an
with
hour,
more.
so that's
We can
nice.
come up with more.
Yeah, I probably could, but I am gonna go have a
Check it
drink
out.
now. So,
All right, fine. We're
well,
done.
thank you guys for having the patience and letting me drone on and talk about challenge number one. The next Dark Star really begins now. Now now we're really things are getting real.
Yep. So guys, I'll send out the email within the hour, let's say. So look for it.
You got it. All right, guys. Thank you very much, and we'll talk to you. We'll be seeing you again tomorrow.
True. All right, bye y'all.
All right, guys. See ya.